Hello, it's Brandy Amstel here with Living Powerfully, and I just want to share one of my very special friends with you today. So often people come to me and they're talking about the biggest challenge that they have to overcome in their life to living powerfully in all areas of life is having to overcome overwhelm or not having the energy to accomplish what it is that they want to accomplish. And for me in my own life, I meditate. I use meditation as a practice for me to get more present, and that might seem counterintuitive, like I'm taking time to just chill or something like that. And how in the world could that actually give me more time? But a Harvard study recently done shows that people, if they at the top of the hour took 60 seconds to just reflect on their goals, their dreams, or just rest a little bit, they were actually more productive, they were happier at their jobs, and people enjoyed being around them more. So there's a lot of value that I get out of meditation. And so this is my friend Erik Kuykendall. Hope I said that right.
Kuykendall.
Erik, that's who I know you as.
That works.
So Erik has been my masseuse for years. He does massage therapy, and he is by far the best person I've ever gone to in my whole life, and I've gone to plenty. But anyway, so Erik, tell us a little bit about you, and tell us a little bit about your massage background, actually, just a little bit.
Well, I've been doing massage for over 30 years. I started out in a dojo as a young guy and fell in love with the art. And about 15 years ago, I had someone ask me why I wasn't doing what I loved doing. And it kind of hit me between the eyes because I was a recruiter and I asked people what they like to do all day long. And when I realized that I wasn't doing what I wanted to do, 6 weeks later I was on the road with the circus and doing massage and raw foods preparation, and really haven't looked back since.
Wow. I didn't know that story. That's awesome. And so now, as I was getting my massages from you, I became aware of a new venture that you have, which is, it's called Lucid Light. And it's a form of meditation. So like there are tons of meditation practices that people can do. I mean, they can be as simple as, a prayer is a form of meditation. It could be relaxing. It could be yoga. Some people use yoga as meditation. It could be walking in nature, or it could be your traditional sitting on a pillow in the middle of the floor, thinking about nothing, just clearing the mind. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do meditation. And tell us how this light is a form of meditation.
The light is 8 white LEDs and a single halogen light in the very center. And when we shine this light on people's closed eyelids, it brings about a sense like you're staring at the sun. It's based on shamanic sun staring principles. And that sense that you get when you close your eyes and face the sun, it's that warm, comfortable, safe, relaxing place that allows you to take a nice deep breath and not really worry about what else is going on. And this is something that has been practiced by shaman for millennia. What we've done is taken that and amped it up. We utilize the halogen light, brings on that sunshiny feel, and then the LEDs bring a pulse, and the pulse goes down the optic nerve and activates the central nervous system. It allows for greater activity in alpha and theta waves, which are the highest state in the alpha, and that will provide for the intuitive nature, the creative, and then you've got the lowest theta state and that deep meditative state. When you have the two going together, it creates something very similar to the transcendental state. It's a hypnagogic state, the place between sleep and wakefulness. And via the optic nerve, we're able to stimulate your pineal gland. and that provides for a very colorful, relaxing experience.
So I tried the light, right? We did this. I had a session, and I had a lot of different experiences with it. So for me, it reminded me of a time whenever I visited the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx in Egypt. And we had gotten up early in the morning to sit between the paws of the Sphinx on the sand and do a meditation. And so as the sun comes up that morning, so it was like 5 in the morning when we got there, ridiculous time. But anyway, as we're sitting there and the sun starts coming up, you start to experience that sun thing that you're talking about, where it comes over the eyelids and just this dance of lights and like magicalness. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. But it was an amazing experience. And so when I was underneath the lights, doing your meditation, it was a very similar experience as far as like the lights that I saw and just the feeling.
That activated sensation in the brain, like parts are opening up and flying that normally don't.
Right. So what is it about that has us experience relaxation or creativity or all those things that you just were mentioning? Like, what about it releases that? I don't understand.
Well, we believe it's the pineal gland. The pineal gland is responsible for releasing things like serotonin, melatonin, melatonin, all sorts of neurotransmitters and hormones. It's the release that allows us to come out of fight or flight. We spend most of our day in fight or flight. Advertising is based on creating needs, and to create needs, you have to make people insufficient.
Yeah, who can relate to that? I totally can. Yes,
Exactly.
Absolutely. Wow. Okay, got it. So get a little release from the fight or flight.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It's as if you were to take some time and start doing reverse nostril breathing. It has a very similar impact on the neurology.
So I guess I could kind of understand why that Harvard study is proving what it does. I mean, you just need a little break from what's going on around you. What are some of the benefits that you've seen other clients report back to you?
Number one that I hear most is an increased sense of well-being, that everything is just kind of okay, and everything's in order. I have a gentleman friend of mine who has always been a little bit terrified of death, and it really challenges him and forces him into directions that he hasn't appreciated in the past. And he called me shortly after his first session and said, "Why aren't I afraid to die now?" It allows people to walk around in their own consciousness and very often slow down enough to appreciate who they are and what their purpose is, and those things that are not in alignment with them, they can very often recognize as such much quicker.
So how do you see meditation like this kind of complementing massage? Like, I see you as this person that is kind of combining these two well-being practices together, and like, what do you think about the synergy between the two of them?
I think it's remarkable. I find some people really appreciate it beforehand, and some people really appreciate it afterwards. It depends on their archetype. But I do find that it helps bring people into their center. It very often helps with not only setting intentions, but recognizing what your intentions might be. In our breakneck world, we very often don't slow down enough to even recognize what it is we want. And being able to stop for 10, 15, 30 minutes really can help bring everything into alignment.
Yeah, I know for me and most of my friends that are busy entrepreneurs, it's very easy to get caught up in the day of just like so many fires to put out, so many things that you want to accomplish. And it's hard to think about 30 minutes. But now I understand the value for sure, and I hope that other people can kind of start to see a glimmer of what's possible for them.
Well, and I think that's what's remarkable about the light, is that it allows people to be in a space that very often takes many, many years to get to. What we've seen in the brain scans is that the brain is being activated in ways that people who've been doing transcendental meditation for 20 years get to. Well, we can get those sort of results very quickly and get your brain in that same flow. It allows you to be distracted into that place that so many people have to concentrate to get to.
Right, and I think that was my experience. So, typically, or especially early on when I started meditating, it was like, okay, am I doing this right? How much longer? Oh my gosh, wow, I wonder if I'm doing it right. It was all these questions, right? And then, like, okay, that's plenty. And it was probably like 2 minutes. Wow, okay, that was only 2 minutes? I can't believe it. And so, obviously, as I've progressed, I've been meditating for over 20 years myself. And so it's, I've definitely progressed and can get to meditation much quicker. But I remember in the beginning it being super frustrating. Just like, how long do I have to sit here before I'm going to get a benefit? And it actually did take me a long time before I could, really experience the joy of sitting still and, just really focusing on nothing.
I find that with the dance of the music and the light, it allows people a little more comfort than just sitting by yourself, listening to nothing, trying to think about nothing. And very often what my clients report to me is that it allows them to see the house on the hill, that shining house on the hill, and know that it's there, and know that they can get back there. And neurologically, it seems as if there's a pathway that's been created back, a bit of a neurological remembrance when it comes to meditating. As you probably remember, when you first started meditating, it was very clumsy. It's like learning how to dance. And until you find your way into that flow, but each time you go back, it's easier to find your way. And this allows you to see what your goal is, I believe.
I love how technology is coming along and progressing in such a way that we can shortcut some of those long learning curves of, say, meditation. And there's so many other things in life, too, that technology's really been able to help us to achieve quicker without so much pain. So we get to bypass some of that.
Technology can be a very shortened, abbreviated route to both healing and spirituality. Seeing these crossroads where spirituality and technology are connecting now is really exciting.
Yeah, the different biofeedback mechanisms and such, it's like, whoa, this is so cool. So what about those folks that come in that are a little bit skeptical? Like, what has been their experience? Because you know what? I was a little skeptical. I'm always skeptical. But on the flip side, I kind of knew what was going to happen to me, too, because I had experienced meditation and I get the lights. And in theory, I kind of get why it works and such. But I know that for some people, they're just willing to try it. And they may not be as experienced with meditation or what's happening to them. And my question is, like, from a skeptic's perspective, like how was they came in skeptical, and when they left, what was their experience?
The skeptics are really my favorite. They're usually the ones who are surprised the most. There's a gentleman who came in and he's very much wrapped up in corporate life and a lot of worldly achievement and very successful at it, but it's causing him a lot of physical and emotional stress, and he came in wanting to get rid of some physical and emotional stress. I worked with him as a massage therapist and suggested he might consider the light as well. Very skeptical, and he called me after another month and came back and tried the light. When he did, he very quickly started smiling, almost 20-30 seconds in, and when he came out from his first experience, he had had an out-of-body experience and had spoken with a relative who had died many years back and was in this really peaceful, settled place, and that was just in a short tester. I've had people who were expecting great things and went, I saw a lot of pretty colors, no big deal. And then I get a call a few days later saying that they had found some real keys to what they needed. I found that the actual experience of sitting under the light and the amazing, colorful, sacred geometric light show that you see is really just kind of the tip. For me, there seems to be a real heart opening over the next several days, and I get a lot of reports from people coming in who are total skeptics who say, no, I'm not spiritual. I was given this as a gift certificate.
Oh.
And I get phone calls over the next several days telling me about what it is they're discovering within themselves and within everyone around them.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how it works. Like like I'm pretty sure most people have never experienced something like this. So like, what is the process? I walk into your office and then what happens?
You walk into the office and I make sure that you've had water and food and that sort of thing, and you're actually ready to invest your time. Because coming in where you're not rested and you're not hydrated, it's not a comfortable position for the body or the mind, and we want you to be in the best launching spot for your meditation. We either pre-select or we'll help you select some music. The music works really well with the light. Light and music have been used together in many rituals for many years, but
dancing by the fire,
very
with
much
the
so.
drums.
And the drumming, exactly. It is a very tribal mindset. It's you by yourself with yourself. So we get you into the space, we give you some music headphones, put you under the light either in a zero gravity chair or on a massage table, and have you close your eyes, and we turn on the light and it just dances on your eyelids. People are able to communicate, they're able to maintain total lucidity, there's no sense of mental confusion, there's no sense that you've lost who you are. It's been compared to a number of entheogens, and people who are seeking often are pushed our direction and expect something more entheogenic with the toxicity to the body and those sort of things, but it's really a very gentle, like laying out in the sun and just sinking into your thoughts.
What would you say the benefits of meditation are? Personally, what would you say?
Well, for myself, an increased sense of well-being, a double check on who I am and what I want on a daily basis. I find that affirmations do help me, but knowing what I actually want seems to really help me more. I find that it keeps me in a more relaxed headspace, that I find easier access to my own breath. And I'm not getting frustrated in traffic the same way.
So what kinds of people come to see you, or what kinds of people could really benefit from meditation or benefit from coming to see the light, this form of meditation, right?
As an entrepreneur, that's one of the first things that we try to identify is who is our market niche. I don't know. What I have come to find is that very often the people that I think might be in our niche aren't, and the people that I don't expect truly are. I have had to release all sort of expectations in this regard. I'm working with people who are CEOs to people who are street performers, and they all seem to benefit in very similar ways. A sense of connection, a sense of oneness, the sense that everything is, well, the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I wonder, so this ideal customer, this ideal client, like that's a topic that every entrepreneur has, right? And so we're always looking for, how can we niche this? You gotta know who your ideal customer is first. And one of the things that I've realized is that it's very hard in living powerfully to say who's living powerfully and who's not. Like that's really not very cool as far as finding your ideal customer. And one of the things that I've realized is that it's about what they're out to achieve. And that could be a CEO or it could be a dancer. Like it really, like it's what their goals are in life and what are the things that really touch them, move them, and inspire them down deep inside. And so like a calling from inside to be more connected with source, or to be more present to, or to gain clarity. I mean, a lot of people meditate for clarity, some to connect with source, and to me that is kind of the same. Like you get clarity from source, but that's me personally. So I think it's really about people, the connection between the people that are drawn to your type of meditation. It's because they're yearning for that particular thing, and that's the commonality. So then your ideal client kind of goes to, okay, well, it's people that are searching for this particular quality of life. And then, well, they're all different kinds of people, but then hopefully at some point they'll like shoot into something.
My favorite is the friends of those, because there are the seekers, the people that I know are going to walk up and go, yeah, I really want to try this, and I think it'll fit in and help me recognize that next level of meditation practice. It's their friends, the ones that they say, you know what, here's a gift certificate, go try this thing. And they go and try this thing and they're skeptical. I love that. I really, I love watching who gets sent to me. And when I started looking at my demographics, trying to figure out, okay, is it older people? Is it younger people? Is it business people? Is it hippies? Who really wants this? And who seems to go, pow, the biggest? I can't find a pattern. All I know is this is the most subtle form of relaxation practice I've ever done. I've worked in alternative medicine and a number of different protocols, trying to find ways to reach and connect with Source. And this is by far the most subtle flow in and the most profound space that I've found.
Awesome. I know I enjoyed it. I certainly did. And I will do it again. Got to squeeze it into my schedule. But I tend to try a lot of different things so that I have a broad spectrum. So when people ask me, you know, like, oh, okay, well, what do you do for meditation? I kind of have an experience of what they all are. But I'm clear that there is value to be had in going to sit underneath the Lucid Light. Is that its name, Lucid Light, or is that just a name that you created? I don't know what the name of it is.
The name of it is the Lucia No.3. It was created in Austria, and it has been called the Lucid Light by a number of the practitioners who utilize it, and we just took it on as the name of the company.
So if someone wanted to experience the light, how do they go about that?
Best way would be to contact us. We will be happy to put you in touch with anyone in the United States. There's 4 or 5 in the US right now that can help out. We're the only one available in Texas. There's some in California, Colorado, and New York. And I'd be happy to put you in touch with any of those people. And if you are outside of the United States, we have a network that spans the planet. And I'd be happy to connect you with those people as well. Here in Austin, if you want to come and try the light, it's $50 for a full session, which takes about an hour your first time.
Like, would it be possible if someone was to put together a group of people that wanted to experience it, and then maybe you traveling to that city?
Definitely. We've done that a number of times, and it's always been a very positive experience.
Okay, great. I'll make sure that I give the folks here that are watching your contact information so that they have access to all of that. I want to thank you so much for, you know, being my guest here today and sharing your love and really sharing with people about meditation, like what the benefits of meditation are, and then like how to take it to the next level if you wanted to experience this new technology, the Lucid Light. I know I'm excited about it. I'm really looking forward to being able to experience it again on my next trip. And yeah, thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing you again.
So if you like what we shared here with you today and want more tools, techniques, and tips for living powerfully in all areas of life, then I want to invite you to subscribe here to our YouTube channel. And you can also follow us on our Facebook fan page, Living Powerfully Now. So adios for now and live powerfully in your life.